Shalom. All praises go to the Most High Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem Adawakwadash. Double honor unto the elder Paul, is a great millstone for the teachings of the scriptures, among other things. Shalom to the sincere Hakim across the world. What's up? Yeah. So I wanted to address a thing because I had a conversation, as usual, with this girl, right? Now, this is Jacob Descendant girl from West Africa. And she was talking about the 12 tribe signs of Great Millstone. And how she was against it and stuff like that, right? She didn't like it because she said that that thing is not accurate. Okay, cool cat. So I said something about it, and Lord willing, it actually, because when we were done, she was actually, but she got it. She got it. She understood it. Yahweh Ratazah. She accepted it. But I'm gonna start off like this, right? So first and foremost, this is all through the Spirit, right? Through the Spirit of Yahweh Basham Yahushua. Now, going into the physical form is like this. So I explained her the basis, that's the basis, the foundation of what an Israelite actually is, which is the so-called Negros, Latinos, and Indianos. That is the basic starting line of what a Jacob descendant actually is. And also in the book of Baruch, where it says that, where is that again? Oh yeah, here. Wait, let me find it in the book itself. Which is the book of Baruch. 2. Where's that again? In the land of their captivity, there shall they remember my name. That's it. But damn it, where is it actually? You know what? Baruch 2. I know it's Baruch 2. Damn it, John. Baruch 2, chapter 2, verse 32. It says, "And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity, and think upon my name." So in the land of our captivity, that's where we're going to start out worshiping and hearing and knowing about the name of Yahweh. In the land of our captivity. But, you know, she had a problem with the fact that, you know, it's outlined that the Hebrew Israelites are from South America and America, basically, right? And because those are the ones that went into captivity, like it says right here, in the land of their captivity, they shall remember my name. So to a certain degree, you know how these West Africans, well, I don't think you know, I know. These West Africans are very proud. You know, sometimes they want to, a lot of times, they want to come over as being more pure than people from South America or people from North America, you know. They say you mixed up with the Caucasus or whatever like that and all that, but they forget they were mixed up with the Hamites. But loose from that, they're very fucking proud. Not all of them. That's dumb. That's just dumb. That's like saying 100% of the Moabites hate us, even though a big portion of them do. Or that's like 100% of the Edomites hate us, even though a big portion of them do. Especially once you start going to East Europe. That's why I don't like them, motherfucker. Don't come here. But anyway, so it says right here. So yeah. So anyway, so she was saying that, and then with I didn't ask her, but my mindset was like, you probably don't like the fact that you're not mentioned on the 12 tribe sign, right? Okay, cool. That's what I think. Because with other people, I just tell them. But with her, I wanted to help her, so therefore, help her understand. So therefore, I didn't make it into a combat, you know, trying to slither my way around. Still trying to help you instead of showing fangs and stuff like that. I like showing fangs, but I like also slithering around in order for you to get this truth, right? It's like deceiving you into the truth. It's not really deceiving, it's tricking you into following Yahweh Basham Yahushai. You could say that, I don't know. Supplanting you, you know, I don't know. Anyway, so this is the thing. This is the foundationing bloodline stream thing to where once you look at the signs, the 12 tribe signs, right, you would know that, oh, so you need to be of these people of Descendant. Yeah, Descendant, which is the so-called Negros, Latinos, and Indianos, right? That is the 12 tribe signs based upon. Okay, cool cat. So now, another thing what I explained to her is this. You had, let's say in the ancient times, right? You had Fort Judah, you had Fort Benjamin and all these type of things and stuff like that, right? And of course the Levites and sprinkled in the midst and all that. Actually, you had all 12 tribes sprinkled in the midst because it says that in the book of First Kings chapter 12. But they had a small portion. Small portions of all the 12 tribes. They went and they lived with Judah. And then the bulk majority, they stayed with Israel. And then, the 10 tribes stayed over there. But you had the other 10 tribes just mingle in the midst of them. I could get a few scriptures for you if you want to. You might be like, oh yeah, where does it say that? Well, in the New Testament, you also see that Asher was right there in the midst of Judah and Benjamin. So that shows you that, oh, Asher was at least there. That's 100% a fact. That's the truth. Because you can read it in Luke 1, 2, or 3. I think 2 or 3. Right, so it says right here, First Kings. Let me see. Right, First Kings chapter 12, right, verse 17. Now it says here, but as far as the children of Israel, which dwelt in the cities of Judah, Rehoboam reigned over them. So here is where Israel and Judah started to become separate, around First Kings 11 and First Kings 12. That's when it really started, because that's when the prophecy came in First Kings 11, because of the things of King Solomon, the sins, and that the Most High would rent the kingdom from him, but leave leave one actually, Benjamin. Only one was left. And then later on Levi came, and other scriptures, which is Second Chronicles 11:14. I'll just go to the point. Second Chronicles chapter 11 verse 14. For the Levites left their suburbs and their possessions, and came to Judah and Jerusalem, because Benjamin was in Jerusalem. For Jeroboam and his sons had cast them off from executing the priest's office unto Yahweh, and he ordained him priests for the high places, and for the devils, and for the calves which he had made. And after them, here it comes, verse 16. So, Second Chronicles chapter 11, verse 16. And after them, out of all the tribes of Israel, which are the northern tribes at that time, such as set their heart to seek Yahweh, the power of Jacob, Israel, came to Jerusalem to sacrifice unto Yahweh the power of their fathers. So they came to Jerusalem and dwelt there along with the Levites. So they left with the Levites, and then they came into Judah and Benjamin and dwelt there in their midst. And then later, which was Ephraim. I have other scriptures if you want to. If you doubt it, I got other scriptures. Ephraim and Manasseh and Ephraim, Manasseh, and Ephraim, Manasseh, and Asher is and another one. Oh yeah, I got it. The name, right? Where did I put that one? got it. I got it. I got it. Oh. It says here, First Chronicles 9 and 3. First Chronicles chapter 9, verse 3, right? So it says here, and in Jerusalem dwelled of the children of Judah, and of the children of Benjamin, and of the children of Ephraim, and Manasseh. So I'm going to read it again. First Chronicles chapter 9, verse 3. And in Jerusalem dwelled of the children of Judah, and of the children of Benjamin, and of the children of Ephraim, and Manasseh. So you had those, and then you had 100% Asher. Why? Because Asher is mentioned in Luke 3. Oh man, what the fuck? Misclicked. I don't like the phone, man. It's kind of irritating. Anyway, so damn it, man. Where is it then? Luke 2. Yeah, Luke 2, chapter 2, verse 36. That's it. There you have Asher there. But anyway, so you had Ephraim, Manasseh, Asher living in Judah. And you had the other tribes too, all the other 10 tribes. You had them too, because I just read that in another verse, which is First Chronicles, something like First Chronicles 11. Anyway, what's that saying now again? Yeah, so you had them living there in the midst of it, but okay. So you had them living there in the midst of Judah and Benjamin. Okay, so that's already a sign of that there were more than just Judah and Benjamin. Okay, cool cat. Now back to the 12 tribe signs. I explained to her that, listen, that's just a foundation to build upon, because for an example, you had Fort Judah in West Africa, right? And you had then Fort Benjamin and stuff like that, right? But this is my and Levites. You had the Levites in the midst of them, and this is the point. When the captivity came and everybody was put in captivity, they didn't specifically only put so-called Judah, not so-called. They didn't put only Judah in one boat and then ship them off. They put Judah, Benjamin, and Levi all together, because remember, they was running and scattering and all that type of stuff. So, you know, a bunch of Levites were scattering along with the Judites and whatever tribe, you know, and then they grabbed them up, put them in the ships, and now, you know, when they went over there, they came over there, they didn't, at that time, most likely didn't lose their tribe, but eventually through time, especially when when the language started to change into English and all these other type of languages and stuff, actually English and English, Dutch, and French, because the others there was already there. They was talking in Spanish and Portuguese and all that type of stuff. They've been there for maybe like 120, 150 years, from 1492 until 1619. All of those people were speaking Latin, because the Portuguese and Spanish, they came and they took that over and stuff like that. Okay, cool cat. So then later on, in 1618, then they came over there from those from Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, and the sprinkles of other tribes within them, Asher, because that in the time of Yahushua, Asher was there too. It's mentioned, so it's there, right? They came then into Americas, North America, South America, and stuff like that. That's why you have the only 3 countries in the whole continent of South America. You have 3 countries that speak on the mainland continent of South America: French, Dutch, and English. The Dutch would be English, but England basically sold it onto the Dutch, and then they spoke Dutch. And normality was something, and normality of English, right? So yeah, that's that part. Okay, now my part is this, what I explained, which is very simple. that's a baseline of what it is, because you have people that are from Judah, right? That got sold in the midst of Haiti, for example. You got people that are Levites, right? They got sold in the midst of Benjamin and stuff like that. To the spirit, we know that that is what they are. But yeah, also in the physical form, Levites also always busy with the spiritual left hand side, always busy with rituals and stuff like that, slaughtering chickens and all that type of stuff. But the Northern tribes were doing the same thing too. So yeah, but anyway, so now you have that whole. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. I think I'm overthinking it. Okay, so let me sum it up. Judah was sold in the midst of Benjamin and in the midst of Levi. So you're not 100% specifically targetingly, like bloodlinely, boom boom, a Judite. You might be a Levite living in the midst of Judah. You might be a Judite living in the midst of Levites. You might be a Issachar living in the midst of Naphtali. Because people migrate. People don't stay at the same place at all the time. People move around. They don't stay in one place. So, and especially because we lost the tribe names. So now you're just moving around, calling yourself a slave descendant or Africa, whatever. And then now, a few hundred years later, now you figure out that you're the Jacob descendants, 12 tribes and stuff like that. So now what we do now is refer to the landmass as how the Spirit gave the elder apostles at Great Millstone, how the Spirit gave them. Eventually it trickled down to them because it came from, the elder Abba Bibbins and stuff like that, stuff like that, whatever. But it all comes down in the beginning, a landmass. You are basically a tribe of landmass. Don't forget, you had North American so-called Negroes. They fled into Mexico and stuff like that. And of course, not just Mexico, but I'm just giving Mexico now as an example. They fled into Mexico. They fought revolutions there and beat up Esau and stuff like that, and actually helped free the Mexicans and all that type of stuff back in those days, right? And of course, what did they do? They made children with the native people over there, the so-called Indianos and stuff like that, right? So now they might look a bit like them and all that there, but the point is they're still Judites. Look, once you start understanding the basics of the 12 tribe sign, then later on, then you can start figuring stuff out like, oh, so your great-grandfather came from Haiti, and then he came here, and then he made children and stuff like that. Or look, I have people that went from the country that I'm from, they went to Curacao, and they made children there. Are they now therefore so-called Latin tribe? They speak Latin. They speak. I forgot what they spoke, but it's some kind of form of Spanish, some kind of form of Latin, whatever, some kind of form of that, right? And then you have some of my people. So the country that I'm from, they went to Guyana. Now they speak only English. So yes, they do understand what I'm talking, but they themselves don't talk it themselves, but they know what I'm talking if I'm talking. And some of them can speak it until this day because especially when they're close to the border, they still talk it. But once they start to get mainland deep, and then they start to have this, descendants and generations and stuff like that, a lot of them might lose the language. I have another cousin. He has no idea what I say. Only English. That's the only language that I can communicate with him, and that's the only language that he knows. He doesn't know anything else. But if I talk to my other relatives and stuff like that, I don't even understand what the fuck they're saying sometimes, especially if they talk fast, because they talk, I don't know, man. It's still English. So if you pay attention to what they're saying, you'd be, oh. But they have that thicker accent. The more deepward inland you go, but what are they? See what I mean? So that's what I explained to her concerning, the 12 tribe sign is a baseline onto what comes afterward, but it's to show you who are the Israelites, which are the so-called Negros, Latinos, and Indianos. But you do have people from West Africa because that's where they came from, first and foremost. That's where they came from, and those are the ones that came from there, which predominantly are Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, and those are the ones that came to South America and that came to North America. So Now you have Judah, Benjamin, and Levi predominantly as the big bulk of them. They went there, so a lot of them might have been, not might, a lot of them have been not stranded, but they have been put in South America, and they speak Latin now. You might think that they're northern tribes, but they're not. But that's not the real original main point. The main point is that people say, well, she believed it. Not anymore, Lord willing. That it was a false sign. It is false things and stuff like that. What I just explained to you, what I explained to her, so I thought to myself, let me talk about it in the video. It might help somebody out, it might not. Lord willing, but it's only for the elect anyway, because you know, if you don't believe in it, it don't matter. Once that sword come, you're gonna believe then. That's gonna be the fun part of it, you know. Stubborn, die. Basically. But for now, it's just you could call it a friendly talk, an explanation and all that type of stuff. But that would be then therefore the basis and the foundation and the starter kit. You could call it a starter kit if you want to. The starter kit of what is actually a Jacob descendant and what is not. And then, you know, you branch out and start explaining, for example, the West African part and all that type of stuff, where they originally came from. So guess what? If they came from there and not all of them were snatched up, that means that until this day, you still have Jacob descendants in the west coast part of Africa, and they didn't stay just there, because some of them moved to Kenya. So now you think, hey, Kenya, you must be a Canaanite. That's not always the case, because people have maybe 200 years before, you know, we found out that we're Israelites 200 years, 100 years, whatever, continually until this day. They still go to all these other places where the Hamites are. And the Jacob descendant boys, the boys grow up into men, and then they start laying with these women. And then now, fast forward to nowadays, 2026, you have people from Kenya waking up, you know, hearing about the Hebrew Israelites and stuff like that. But now they're afraid because they don't know if they're Canaanites or not. Well, that's where the comfort comes in. That's where the scripture says, comfort ye one another with these words. That's one of our, Lord willing, one of our tasks that we are supposed to do. Let me get that for you. Which issue? So 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 18. Now it says right here, wherefore comfort one another with these words, because that is the mission. That is what you're supposed to be doing as a Jacob descendant, which is oh yeah. So Isaiah 41 and no, Isaiah 40. Isaiah 40 and 1, which saith, comfort ye, my people, saith Yahweh. That's what we're supposed to do. You're supposed to comfort them with these scriptures. Now, some of them, they actually get upset. Those are the ones that you don't give the pearls unto, because give not that which is holy unto the swine and the dog, but if you give them, they will turn around and rend you. Trample it first, spit on the truth first, and then, you know, fight against you and stuff like that, because that's what they do. Those are the ones that get upset. But the other ones that get comforted when in their soul, like, man, whew, a relief in my spirit. Now I say, now I could sleep at night. You know what I'm saying? Because I couldn't sleep. I was losing sleep and all that. So now through the spirit, you comfort their soul because you read Yahweh Shai to them. He's the word, and therefore you read Yahweh Shai to them. And it might be your voice, or it might be a voice of another Jacob descendant and stuff like that. But it's still the same frequency voice of Yahweh. So you have certain Jacob descendants in the physical form, in the flesh, in the carnal. They have, you know, low bass voice. Other ones have a high pitch voice and stuff like that. High pitch voice. And other ones are in the middle and all that there. So you have different voices. You have 112. Sorry, not 112. You have 144,000, 12,000 of each tribe. You have their different voices, but all of them have the same frequency. It's like a telephone, right? All of them use the same frequency, but it's different phones. You got Samsung, you got iPhone, yeah, iPad. I wanted to say iPad, sorry. You got iPhone, whatever. You got Huawei, some Chinese phones and stuff like that. I'm not even gonna pronounce that shit. I'm not even trying. You got those type of seal phones and stuff like that. but they're all using one line. Well, some of them have different providers and stuff like that, but you know what I mean. I hope you know what I mean. So basically, that's what the Jacob descendants are supposed to be doing, which is having one frequency, which is Yahweh Shai, and then therefore you could comfort one another with these words. Going to the book of First Thessalonians 5. I don't need to read that one. It's the same thing as First Thessalonians. Well, I'll read it anyway. First Thessalonians 5:11. Wherefore comfort yourselves together and edify one another, even as also ye do. So this is about edification, so that you can actually explain to another Jacob descendant that he is a Jacob descendant, even though he might look like a cat. I just saw a dude, actually, very dark skinned dude, and I looked at him. He had the face of a Hamite, but he had the spirit of a Jacob. Look, I just saw him in a glance. You could just see how they look. Look, I know a Hamite too, right? This guy is tall as fuck. This guy's tall as fuck, right? 2 meters and shit like that, right? I'm like 185 or something like that. Anyway, so he's like 2 meters, so he's a big motherfucker. He's a tall motherfucker, but he's skinny. He's cool. But the funny thing is, I know he's a Hamite. The way he carry himself, the mannerism that he talk and stuff like that. I know he's a Hamite, but he cool. I like the dude, man. He dope. And I say he dope. I like him. But this guy that I just saw, I looked at him and I saw, because I'm analyzing people now, because of the scriptures. I think I'm looking at people different now, So I looked at him and I perceived that he might be a Jacob descendant. Does that mean salvation? Motherfucker, no, man. That's just stupid. You know how many Jacob descendants I see, great talent, whatever. You still ain't gonna make it, motherfucker. And so it don't matter if you're a Jake or not. He's Israelite though. Nigga, you gonna die. He look like a J, he look like me, he's still gonna die. So, same thing with the heathen nations and stuff like that. Well, the Israelites that look like heathen nations, just because they're Israelite doesn't mean, I'm talking about, salvation. No. It's a possibility. That's the difference, right? So, I'm talking a lot, but I'll get into the scriptures. Y'all read this out. But anyway, so, as I was saying, you have this mindset that branches out after you start understanding the foundation basis of the baseline, the starter kit. I should call it the starter kit. The starter kit of the Hebrew Israelites. So going to the book of John 14, and let me see. John 14 and no, wait. John 14 and what's up, man?
It's like Abraham.
Yeah.
A religious.
Yeah.
You look like a religious man.
Yeah, man.
An ancient Abraham.
Yeah. So it says here, John chapter 15. No, 14. Let me see.
Are you reading to your people on
Yeah.
the street?
Yeah.
What do you talk to them about?
Bible.
Biblical.
Yeah. I'm reading the Bible.
Legends.
Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely.
Where you from? Ireland.
Yeah.
I see that. I'm from Suriname.
Sorry.
Yeah. You did?
You live here usually?
Yeah.
So,
I live here.
all your life?
Yeah. Did you know that in the time of the Moors, did you know that the Moors went to Ireland and then they actually made children with the Caucasian Irish women after the wars and all that type of stuff?
You're telling me the fucking shit I don't know. No way.
But then that would then therefore make those children actually black children. Even though they look Caucasian, they're actually black seeds. Let me give you an example. If a black man has seed within him, boys and girls, right? And he puts it in a Chinese woman, what do you call that child? The so-called mixed breed, right?
You say hybrid and stuff?
Yeah, so-called. But it's actually 100% a black seed within a Asiatic woman. It's like taking an apple tree from the Europe and then bringing it to China and then planting it. Does it become a Chinese apple tree or does it become a European apple tree in China? That's what it is. Okay, so now same thing with the men. The dark-skinned men, the Moors, they made children with the women in Ireland, and then they basically, according to them, screwed up the whole bloodline, and therefore, one of the reasons is in America, the KKK would never accept an Irishman because he knows, like, no, your forefather goes back to that black man, and I can't accept you. Maybe now they do, but originally, the plan and the blueprint was, if you're Irish, no dogs, no niggers, no Sicilians allowed. Did you remember that sign?
I've seen it on the internet, yes.
Okay,
exactly.
that's the truth. Why? Because they know that an Irishman is actually not a Caucasian man. They look like him, but they're not. Same thing with the Sicilians. The North Italians, fuck them. But you do have people that navigate toward over there, but they hate you guys. But the South the North Italians, fuck them. But the South Italians, the Sicilians, those are the same thing. That's why, that's why it says on the things, no Irish, no Italian, but they meant Sicilians. They didn't mean the North Italians. The North Italians have blue eyes and yellow hair. They don't mean them. They mean actually the Sicilians. Because if you dig in deeper, you will find out. They would accept the Italians.
I would be surprised to hear anything bad about Italians because the story is legendary for their inventing and their skill.
I don't know about that.
Like Marco Polo was the legendary story of the Silk Road trades. And
World trades was
you
before?
obviously know Leonardo da Vinci, the Colosseum is proof
Yeah.
today, which is beautiful proof today, how champion the Romans ran an empire from Italy.
No, I'm not trying to take away from them. I'm giving you an example because if I go back into history, the Assyrian Empire, they had world traveling, how you call that thing? The shipment scales, stallions and stuff like that. You had
you
the
mentioned Syrian Empire, really?
yeah, for example, the Assyrian
That's very
Empire.
interesting.
They already had these type
Natalie
of things.
Portman's one of my famous actresses. She was Princess Leia in Star Wars, and I really
Yeah.
like her because she had Syrian parents.
Oh,
I read it on Huffington Post and
Okay.
Forbes
okay, I didn't know that.
on internet. Yeah.
But I saw Natalie Portman. She called
She's
herself
really
Jewish,
famous.
right?
She
Israeli,
had
right?
Syrian parents, so she's like Arabic.
Yeah, Paula Abdul also. Paula Abdul. When I saw her the first time, I thought it was a Latin chick, and she was actually raised up in Brazil because her father was a Syrian, so-called Assyrian Jew. Went to Brazil, raised her there.
Oh, okay. Did you ever
And then
hear
went to America.
Kanye West grew up in China with his mom, who was a professor?
I don't know that.
I read it on the internet once, but
You
I don't know.
know that.
It could be one of those cool stories to
Mhm.
perspective it.
Right.
It could be true or false, right? But I read he grew up in the south part of China with his mom for a few years when they moved.
Oh, okay.
Because his mom's like a professor who got work in a very high skilled job.
Yeah.
And they said like when he was age 8, well, it was like a special background to learn from. And I was like, whoa, man, that's fucked up cool.
Okay, but wait, before I go back, because I already start to forget. The point was that some of the Irish people that look like you are actually the seed and spawn of so-called black people, which means you are a child and the seed of a so-called black man. It's possible because in the movie True Romance from Quentin Tarantino, you saw that movie, you heard about it?
Oh, okay. I don't know that movie, but I know that director. Yeah. so
In
I'll
that
look it up.
in that movie, you will see that being explained for the Sicilians.
Okay.
That scene, there's a smoking scene with the father. He's about to die. You know how these mafia guys are, right? So they in the movies, so they make it's a beautiful scene, by the way. Watch it, and he will explain to you that not the North Italians, but the Sicilians are actually spawns of so-called black people. You
Can
need
send
to.
that? Can you email me one maybe?
The movie is called True Romance. Here,
True
True.
Romance. True Romance. I'll try to remember that. Or if you could have emailed me it, it would
Here, True Romance is with this guy. This guy. You're gonna remember True Romance.
Good. And you like that?
It's a good movie. It's gonna explain to you something, and then you need to apply that to the Irish. Not all of them, but you need to apply that to the Irish. Just to let you know, like, oh, so that's a possibility. Like I said, the man has the seed, which is boys and girls, and then you are what your father is. Even though you might look like your mother, you still come from out your father first, and then you come up out your mother. You are the seed, the blood. Look, women don't have a bloodline. They are the result of a bloodline. When they go and marry somebody else, they receive a bloodline of someone else, their family. That seed comes within them. It is your grandchildren also, but still, it is actually his great-grandfather's
Does that mean
bloodlines.
Because women is very vagina, they're very receiving.
Yes,
But men is very
he's given.
sending
Yes,
a
you.
responsibility.
Yes, you thrust your bloodline
With a
in.
massive penis.
you thrust your bloodline within her, and that's in the scriptures. Numbers chapter 1 verse 18.
It's really interesting.
and they assembled all the congregation together on the Numbers 1 and 18.
Can I read? Can I request you read one parable?
Wait, let me finish this first. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees. Pedigrees is race, like for dogs and stuff like that, but it's also for people. And they and the book of Numbers is written by Moses.
Was it
So
King
it's
James? Like he wrote
it is
that,
the King
or
James. It is the King James
is it
Bible.
him
Well,
who
he
made the
translated.
Lord write that, or
He
do you know who really wrote that? You know?
The Spirit of the Heavenly Father wrote it through men. Just like how when you go to
Or
school.
was it Julius Caesar? You know what I mean?
No, Caesar had nothing to do with that. They actually also wanted to start to call themselves Christians after a while, the Romans. But anyway, so it says here, pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers. So you are the race of your father. You can't be the race of your mother because she got injected, walking around with 10 months, 9 months to 10 months with the baby. But you're walking around with the same children, boys and girls, millions, trillions of them. You're walking around years with them. And once you deplete it, you can actually be at rest and basically make more seed down the line.
Okay, bro.
Yeah? You done? You got a question
May I
more?
request
Yeah, what?
you read one parable for me?
What?
It's called Parable of the Sower.
Of the sower?
Of the Sower.
Sower. Well, that's John 8, right? Or Luke 8. Yeah, I think it's Luke 8. Parable of the sower. Yeah, it's right here. The sower, which is the bringer of seeds. So it says right here, Luke chapter 8, verse 5. A sower went out to sow his seed, and as he sowed, some fell by the wayside, and it was trodden down, and the fowls of the air devoured it. And some fell upon a rock, and as soon as it sprung up, it withered away, because it lacked moisture, that they didn't water the plant, like Apollos. Verse 8. And another fell on good ground, and sprang up, and bare fruit 100-fold. And when he had said these things, he cried, He that had ears, let him hear. And his disciples asked him, saying, What might this parable be? And he said, Unto you it is given to know the mysteries of the kingdom of the Heavenly Father, the kingdom of God, but to others in parables, meaning in riddles. He didn't want them to understand. He wants you to understand. I'm going to read it again. And he said, Unto you it is given to know the mysteries of the kingdom of God, but to others in parables, that seeing they might see, and hearing they might not understand. Now the parable is this. The seed is the word of the Heavenly Father. Those by the wayside are they that hear, and then cometh the devil, and taketh away the words out of their heart, lest they should believe and should be saved. So what does that indicate? It indicates that people that he speaks to in riddles, he doesn't want you to get it, and therefore you're not going to be saved. But the ones that he wants you to understand it, he's going to make it so plain that you're going to look at it and be like, I got it. But the others, he's just going to glance over you. He's just going to say something and you be like, this don't make no sense. And then you leave. Because you don't, he knows that you are not worthy of, because it says, give not that which is holy unto the swine and the dog, right? You heard about that scripture? Never heard about it?
I never
Give
went
not-
that dark usually.
Oh, okay.
I heard a cleaner version from the Mormons.
What is that then?
It was like 35% sway. It was Jesus was beautifully on this little boat on
Mhm.
YouTube. And he was saying, he just said simply three different points. He said, sometimes the seed was not watered, sometimes it withered. And sometimes it had all three.
Right. Yeah.
From
It is.
science, oxygen, water, and the earth.
Yeah, that's
Those good minerals.
Apollos, Paul, and the Heavenly Father. Meaning,
And he says that's when the seed grew.
yeah, because you had all three. You had a speaker, you had a interpreter, explainer, and then you had the ones that actually give the water, which is the Heavenly Father. He gives the increase. Because you can plant a garden as beautiful as you want to, but it is, you can plant 10 trees, right?
He said there was definitely 3 different types for tree that you need. Is actually really synchronizing, really, isn't it?
Right, right. It
It's
is.
the
It
magic
is.
of what a parable is, synchronization.
Right.
It's Carl Jung was the name of a synchronization scientist on the internet, Wikipedia, which was I used to look up.
Okay.
It was all about symmetry and synchronizing, like
Yeah.
Hindu.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I went to a Hindu temple once and I loved it.
In India,
Is that coffee?
it's not coffee. It's cayenne pepper. It's a clay, like dirt.
Cayenne pepper.
Yeah, yeah. Cayenne pepper. It's clay. They call it pimba in Suriname, but here they call it. I forgot the name, man. It's
So what does it do for you?
it's
Herbal
just
type of
yeah, it's herbs. It's basically plants. It's just grinded up plants and clay, white clay, and
Okay.
a few other, just a few
It
plants.
didn't even really look like nice coffee.
It's not coffee. It
My
actually
favorite is
smells.
coffee. I always drink coffee.
It
Makes
doesn't.
me think nice.
It smells. It smells like spoiled. How you call that thing? Seaweed. Oh yeah, I got some. It's not seaweed. It's grass.
It's like Japanese. seaweed.
Yeah, something like that. But it's the Japanese one is matcha. That shit make you too hyper. I don't want this shit.
I like.
I don't want shit that make me hyper. I don't want that. I know it
How
makes
is
you
the
hyper.
people watching you? Is there a few?
YouTube? No, no,
Do you stream it live? Or
no. I'm not streaming
Are
that.
you on stock? Like.
On what?
You go.
I'm
like
gonna
stock,
upload it.
like-
I'm gonna upload it. Yeah,
like
yeah.
manual.
Yeah.
Do you want me to say hello for a second?
No, don't worry about that.
You want to see me? Or
No, don't worry about
I
that.
don't mind. I gotta say hello. Like,
No, but don't worry about that. No,
So
don't.
you put it on your YouTube channel
Mm-hmm.
and then subscribe.
I don't know. It's if people listen and they listen, if they get edified, then they get edified. I don't know. It depends on what the Heavenly Father does. Look, I'm not about
Bro, I
that.
blog like I only have a few people ever read my barely anyone. A few people read my articles. I have 700 for the last 2 years,
Yeah, 700. Okay.
and I covered every philosophy and psychology, sciences, and art form.
Oh.
If you everyone's following me, welcome to it.
Yeah.
Everyone else is, but
Cool.
couldn't force it on you. But it's really nice that we have a chat.
Yeah, man, it's great. It's great.
cool to see
You know,
here.
for the edification's sake. So yeah, have a nice day then. I'm gonna go on.
Okay,
Okay.
best of luck, bro. And God bless. Remember, parable of the sower. I know you're reading. What version are you reading?
King James.
So that is that Old Testament? Is that
No, it's like the whole book is called King James. It's the Old and the New Testament. It's just called King James.
I got
Both of
this
them.
book from Collins Leatherback as Old Testament,
Mhm.
King James, but then I get another one and it's New Testament and a separate book. Like
Yeah, they do that.
manually,
Yeah, they do that.
and then they call it something else. I like it's called NIV.
Oh yeah, new living. No, the NIV, New International Version.
That's the one I like as well.
Yeah, it's actually easier English.
So remember, there is different versions.
There is.
It's like weird. I don't know how you can be an expert to know the difference, but actually remember that at least. And there is a website where you can look at all versions. And
I
for
do
the
have
Bible.
that. Okay, it's called the Bible Gate.
Do you know it?
Yeah, I know
you
it is.
Yeah,
I just used it.
So I will go with. I have a simple to read version I like as well. It's like friendly for children.
God's Word translation is very easy to understand.
I think it's really nice. They have a really simple version.
Yeah.
And then they have like this, the NIV one is what I know is good. And then they have Old Testament's classic, like
Yeah.
hardcore. This Old Testament's like hardcore.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, oh, they put that letter back. And then if you switch it up to New Testament, it'd be like, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you can get some designs, man. I've seen red ink in the Bible.
Yeah, that's the red letter Bible, which means the Lord Himself was talking
Did you
there.
see 100 centurions?
100 centurions.
There's red ink at the bottom, and it's really nice. Like,
I know of the centurions in the Bible, like Acts 10 or something. Or
that's the one I only seen once. It was really rare, and I recommend like look into how interesting that is if you get that info. God bless you, bro.
it's good too. You too, man. Yeah, yeah. Right. So it says right here, John chapter 14, verse 26, which is. Let me see, where was I? 14. 14:26. Yeah, John 14:26, which is, but the Comforter, which is the Holy Spirit, Holy Ghost, right? Whom the Father will send in my name, he shall teach you all things, and bring all things into your to your remembrance, whatsoever I have said unto you. So all the things that Yahweh Shai said unto us back then, the Most High is going to make it, the Lord Yahweh Shai is going to make it to where we're going to be reminded of those things. You can be like, oh yeah, I get it. You know, because it's gonna refresh your soul, but in your physical form, because your physical form is this what we have right here, but your soul is eternal. So therefore, once your soul hears it in that physical form body, then you're gonna be like, oh yeah, it makes sense. But to another, it's not gonna make sense. And you know what's real funny? I was talking about the 12 tribe sign and stuff, and then the Irish guy came, and I saw it in his face that he was Irish, because they, like I said, I like studying people. I like looking at their face and hair and texture and shit like that. I'm not gonna be correct all the time, but a lot of times I look at the face and be like, oh, I know what race you are. If I see the hair, definitely I'm gonna know, because they have, the Spanish, they have different hair texture, so I see it. And the French, they got a different face, so I see that. So I see it, Lord willing, of course. I might not see it all the time, but I see it. When I see a West African and I look at them, I'd be like, oh, this guy. Or I see somebody from East Africa, even South Africa, even, I'd be like, oh, that's a Hamite. But if I just think, it's not like now you condemned and shit like that. Like, oh, he's gonna be final judgment. I might be wrong. I don't know. I'm not going portraying type of this is it, and that's it, and nothing else. I don't do that. I just have it in my own head. But anyway, sometimes I see a person, they look straight up like a heathen, but I just think that they're jig. It might be. It's a possibility. It's a possibility. Anyway, so John chapter 15 verse. What was it again? I think it was 15 verse. I think they're Irish too. Right. John chapter 15 verse. What's it again? 15 verse. Oh, 26. Damn. John 15 verse 26. But when the Comforter is come, whom I will send unto you from the Father, even the Spirit of truth, which proceeded from the Father, he shall testify of me. So, through the Spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahshai, we know that these words is Yahweh Shai, and then therefore, we know that it is that same frequency that will make other people be able to listen to you, because they hear the frequency of Yahweh Shai, and it would click into their soul. And then therefore, it doesn't matter what type of voice it comes out of, low voice, bass voice, whatever, high pitched voice, as long as it is the frequency of the Lord Yahweh Shai, then it's going to be good. So it says Isaiah 40:1, comfort ye, my people, saith Yahweh. Isaiah 40:2 now. Speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem, and cry unto her that her warfare is accomplished, that her iniquity is pardoned. For she had received of the Lord's hand double for all her sins. And that's also in the book of Joel 3. So, no? What was it again? It's another chapter that says that the sins that the punishment of ours was double. And then in Revelation, it says that the punishment of modern day Babylon is going to be double too. Just like how Jacob got their sin punishment paid in double. So the sins that we did was paid in double, right? Well, that's the same thing that's going to happen to Babylon. Modern day Babylon is America. So basically Esau. So what is going to happen? They're going to get the punishment twice as hard. And that's 2,000. Well, the Most High said in the book of Wisdom of Solomon, I forgot which chapter, it says, thou punish us, but thou punish us enemies 1,000 times more. And then therefore, when it says that they're going to be punished double, well, then it's 2,000 times. Let me get that. So it says here, Wisdom of Solomon 12:22. Therefore, whereas thou dost chasten us, thou scourges our enemies 1,000 times more. Thou scourges our enemies 1,000 times more. And then you go to Revelation 18 and 6. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works. In the cup which she had filled to her double. So 2,000 times more you're gonna get your ass whooped. You know? All the heathen nations, they're gonna get their ass whooped 1,000 times more than what the Jacob descendants got. And they got a lot of horrible things, right? Well, our people got so terrorized that they are afraid of their own hair. When they see themselves in the mirror, oh shit, you know, when they see the back of their neck, they gotta straighten that shit out, right? That's how scared they are. That's how terrified they are of themselves. The skin color, they see the reflection in the mirror, right? Get a white girl, or the black female, get a white boy. Latin chicks do it too. I don't even need to mention that shit. Anyway, so you know they scared as fuck, right? Well, you can imagine 1,000 times more how, just like how China, they imitate so-called black people where they put their afro in. You think this guy's mixed up? You think is a jig? No, it's a Chinese person that put because they love your hair so much, they figured out a way to make their hair look like yours. I'm like, yo, that's some dope shit right there. Well, that's how the Edomites and the rest of the heathen nations are going to be walking upon the planet Earth. They're going to go to the Chinese people and they're going to do their hair. That's how much they're gonna get destroyed. 1,000 times more, even 2,000 times more. You know what I'm saying? 1,000. Esau's gonna get 2,000. The heathen nations are gonna get 1,000 times more. That's why they're not gonna get exterminated. You know. But let me go back to it's the same topic actually. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 9. It says, "For we know in part and we prophesy in part, but when that which is perfect has come, then that which is in part shall be done away." What's that mean? Then that which is in part shall be done away. Right. So concerning because in the book of Matthew 13 it says that the reapers will come and they will actually basically exterminate the tear babies. The tear babies. Matthew 13 and what else? I forgot it. Oh, okay. I had something in my head. But Matthew 13 and 36. When Yahushua sent the multitude away, then Yahushua sent the multitude away and went into the house, and his disciples came unto him, saying, "Declare unto us the parables of the tares in the field." Right? Verse 37. He answered and said unto them, "He that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man," which is just this truth, but it's also your actual physical seed. Like the parable of the seed that the guy asked, which is crazy. Did you get that? What just happened? So I was talking about what I was talking about, and then he popped up. It's all good. I and myself I'm thinking like, are you following me? he sent this guy. I don't know. Let me not say. I keep it in my mind. Anyway, so it says right here. 38. The field is the world, the good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one. The enemy that sowed them is the devil. That shows you that Esau is the devil. And you might be like, well, that might apply to everyone that came and made children with the Jacob descendants' daughters. Yeah, you can say that if you want to, but we know that I know that that's Esau. He's the devil because he's deceiving, right? The harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. As therefore the tares, little tear baby, are gathered and burned in the fire, so shall it be in the end of this world. 41. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend. You're an offense. You tear babies. You're an offense. See the comforter. Now I don't have to walk around with raging demon in my spirit like, I don't have to walk around like that because the scriptures comfort you. So you don't have to be angry. You know? You don't have to be pissed off. Looking at them like, man, you shouldn't exist. Well, the Most High did that. It's filming me. So it says right here, all things that offend, and them which do iniquity. Those are the Jacob descendants that do iniquity. You are also a offense. So no matter how you look, Most High is gonna disintegrate you with the angels. But you're gonna still make it, as salvation part. Oh, sorry, as in the kingdom being born into the bloodline of salvation, which is the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So you're not going to be exterminated. Esau is going to be, after 1,000 years, wiped out of existence. So you better get your stuff right now, because that's what the Most High said. You better get your licks in right now. Oh, I'm gonna get that white boy, or I'm gonna get that white girl right now, because they're not gonna be here no more. Go ahead, do what you gotta do. You ain't gonna be but that's stupid, because in the kingdom you're gonna have, they're right there. But I've seen people nowadays be like, oh man, I gotta get as many as possible as now, because they're not gonna be here no more. He's not thinking. I've seen a few dudes that said that shit. They're not thinking. They're not thinking. First and foremost is 1,000 years slavery, and loose from that, they're not going to be exterminated now, boy. Hey, where's the pain in that? You need to be kept alive. You don't kill them. You keep them alive. That's how they get. That's how they get that judgment. So they ain't gonna forget it. Like, oh, I was dead anyway, so I missed everything. It's like being in jail, coming out after 15 years. Like the people that went into jail for in the 90s or something like that, or maybe even the early 2000s, and they came out in 2026 and they saw all this crazy shit. They don't know what the hell's going on. Well, we don't want that for Esau. We want them to gradually, be alive and let's go through things, understand things, Because if you don't see these things, you're not knowing what you're missing. For example, if you have, say you got a PP, right? Every normal functioning man is born with a PP. Now, if you chop that PP off, by the time that you hit 12, believe me, people are crazy. They chemically castrate themselves with pills and stuff like that. He doesn't even know how his thing works, how it feels. It don't even make any sense, right? But anyway, let's say you've been using your little tank, you know what I'm saying? Big tank, whatever. You've been using your little tank, right? For maybe until 20 years and 25 and 23, and then it get chopped off. Boy, you're gonna kill yourself, because the feeling that you're missing now, that you will never get. It doesn't exist. You need a new body. So they snuff themselves out, right? But that's basically what you need to do to the house of Esau, right? Basically. Why? Because because they would know. They would know, right? They would know. They would know the, how you call that thing? They would know what they're missing. They would know what they're missing. If you chop it off quick, they don't know what they're missing. You know what I'm saying? You need to let them enjoy it first and taste it, and then take it away. What Esau is doing right now, he's actually setting up the Jacob descendants that are very loving toward the things that they have been given, and then he gonna take it away. That's when you gonna get angry, because now you know what you're missing. Man, it wasn't like that, man. But for people that never went through it, what's the big deal? I don't know. But anyway, let me go back to where I was, which is I think I'm done with the explanations of the 12 tribe signs. That it was not, that it is not, it is based on nowadays, it's based on land mass instead of based on I don't want to say that, but I'm gonna finish my sentence. It's based on landmass instead of lineage. I don't want to say that because it sounds not good, but I'm gonna explain what I mean with it. Like I said, I have family members that went from there, so the land where I'm from, and they came to And they went to America. I got family members that went from where I'm. Oh, I forgot about those. So I got a whole group of motherfuckers over there from family members over there in America. I went to visit them one time, but then loose from that. The point is, are they there? Are they that? See what I mean? And I know that you have Haitians living in the country where I'm from right now. But the point is, it's the starter kit. So now you know if you're a Jacob descendant or not, if you come from them. But once you are in this truth, then you're going to understand more. For example, where you come from, which is then therefore West Africa. And then that would then therefore mean that, oh, so there's a whole bulk of Israelites over there that we got cropped out of, like cropped out, you know, when you have a picture and then you crop out a part of the picture. Well, we got cropped out of that entire picture over there in West Africa. And then we got dropped into the South Americas and we got dropped into the North Americas and stuff like that. But the thing is, the ones that were dropped there, they speak English, they speak Dutch, they speak French. Why? Because the Portuguese and the Spaniards didn't rule over us. Well, not long, not at all. Okay, the whole entire country. Look, nowadays, if you go down there, you see Brajans, we call them, like, funny reason why we call them Brajans is because there's a bee, is a very aggressive bee, very murderous bee. He'll kill you. They'll kill you. They actively go out to kill. It's like they're fucking delusional or something like that. They got rabies, you know. They go kill animals. They kill other cows. You got farms and stuff like that. If the Brajans come, well, it's actually Brajon just means Brazil, and then we call those murderers, those bees. We call them Brajon for the Brajon people. I don't know how to explain it, man. It's just a little history behind it. But they come and then they kill. But anyway, you got people from Brazil, Brajon. You got people from Brajon. You got them over there. You got people from Haiti now coming over there. Listen, when we used to live there were no Haitians. Because people didn't travel like that, how they travel now. There were no Brazilianos. People didn't travel like that, not like now. Now you got, you know, you could say communities of them in there and stuff like that. How it began, it's the Brajon chicks used to come to Suriname to do prostitution shit and stuff like that. So that's what they used to do back in the days. I'm not making it up. You can look it up. I don't want to talk bad about them because it makes it seem as if, you know, they're whores, and no, they're not. It's just a demographic of them. It's not only Brazil. You had a lot of Latin-speaking women. They came to there on a prostitution type tip and stuff like that. But I don't want to talk about that shit. That's another thing. But yeah, the point is you have different people now. Not different people, I should say. You have people from different countries now more easily traveling toward other countries nowadays, right? So does that then therefore mean that they are those tribes because of that land area mass location thing? No. To the spirit we know, and based off of that you are an Israelite. And then we work further from there on. Okay, I think I talked enough about that, right? So let me now go into the book of Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 1. The hand of Yahweh was upon me and carried me out in the spirit of Yahweh and set me down in the midst of the valley which was full of bones. We are in the valley of the bones right now. Well, it's actually America, but I mean like you got Jacob descendants all over the place. They're dead, and therefore they would need that water. You know, just like the guy that was here talked about he was talking about a person. I was talking about the water, the other thing, and the increase, which is Paul, Apollos, and Yahushua. Paul, he came with the talking, went all over the place. He had mad wisdom, yeah. And then you had Apollos, that was a teacher. He taught people, and then off of that, you know what you have? Let's say a teacher, right? He knows the teachings and stuff like that, but his mind, I'm not calling him stupid, but his mind is not that vast compared to his student. So now when he teaches his student, all of a sudden the student has all these experiences that he made in his life, and then when you give him the scriptures, he start linking things in his head, and then he will be able to explain stuff better to other people. You know, it's possible. It's possible. So basically, that is what this was. You know, you had Apollos, then Apostle Paul, Apollos, and of course the main ingredient, Yahushua with the water that give the increase. Because you can give water all you want, the plant still could die. You could plant 10 trees, or 10 vegetable, whatever, 10 plants, and you everything you do the same, beautifully set it up in due season. You know, you wait until the season is correct, and then you plant it. And then, you know, everything, and then of the 10 plants or something like that, or trees, 9 of them, or maybe, 8 of them only grow, and then 2 of them don't. Or maybe 1 of them does, and you don't know what the hell is going on. Yeah, that's the Most High. That's what it is. Yeah, and you have it here in the book of 2nd Ezra 8. 2nd Ezra 8, and 41. 2nd Ezra 8 and 41, which is, for as much as the husbandman sowed much seed upon the ground, and planted many trees, and yet the thing that is sown good in his season cometh not up, neither doth all that is planted take root. Even so it is of them that are sown in the world. They shall not all be saved. So, why are you fighting? Why are you breaking your back backwards trying to save that plant? It don't work like that, boy. It don't work like that. That plant, fuck it. It's sad, but it gotta die. Yahushua, you got a lot of plant lovers, right? If you was to see Yahushua wither this tree away, you would cry for the tree. That's like, yeah. That same tree is a Jacob descendant that is not fruitful. But he knows this truth. See, if you're not a teacher, or you're not teaching his word and talking about this word, Yahushua is not going to come and wither you away. If you are in the understanding, like, you know, in the beginning you understand, and then you be like, I'll leave it, yeah, he going to wither your ass away. But if you are a person that is supposed to be, you got this truth, right? You're teaching and stuff like that, or at least you're talking to people, you need to keep on continuing and keep on talking. Because if you don't, the Lord Yahushua is going to actually wither you away. He's going to touch you, bing, and he's going to wither away. Because that's what it says that he would do. Right, so going back to Ezekiel 37, verse 2. And caused me to pass by them round about, and behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry. So the bones were dry, right? So you put some water upon it, which is the truth, right? And the only mannerisms how you gonna get that water is if the Lord Yahushua gave it to you. That's that water that the Lord Yahushua went into John 4, talked about that water in the well, and that water is the water from Jeremiah chapter 2. So he brought the water of Yahweh back to you in a physical form now. Well, at that time he came and he was talking about, you know, it's actually not physical. It's not physical, but he was there with the physical water, and then he talked about the spiritual water. That's what I actually mean. And the one in Jeremiah chapter 2, that was also spiritual, but it was given in a physical form. Anyway, it's spiritual. Right, so verse 3. And he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, O Yahweh, power, thou knowest. And he said unto me, prophesy upon these bones, prophesy upon these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the words of Yahweh. Thus saith Yahweh the power unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 7 shows you that breath is the wisdom, knowledge, and is the Holy Spirit. Wisdom and knowledge and understanding is this breath. John chapter 6 verse 63, that's that breath. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 7 verse 21, 22, and 23, 24 actually. You can read it for yourself if you have the time. Verse 6. So Ezekiel 37 and 6. I will lay sinews upon you, and will bring the flesh upon you, and will cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and ye shall live, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh. And that sinew that been put upon you, if you read the book of Micah chapter 3, you see the false teachers and false prophets, they're ripping that sinew off of you, ripping the flesh off of you, by teaching you, for example, all nations can make it. He just made you not covered anymore with the spirit and mouth of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, with the real doctrine, the truth. So then therefore, you start walking around with open sores on your body thinking that you're cute until somebody put that salt on you and you start screaming and melting. I'm melting, I'm melting, like a snail. You know, you start curling up. If you throw some water on them, they curl up like them witches. Or actually, it was one witch, the Witch of Oz, curled the fuck up. You know, water got tossed on her. Oh, I'm melting, I'm melting. I want to make a joke, boy. Back in the days, I was funny with him. It's like throwing water on a black female with straight hair. Then her hair turns into what it actually normally is, and then she turns around with the. To her, she's ugly, but whatever the fuck, man. I just make jokes on that. I got my own jokes. Fucking funny. I think it's in my head. I'm laughing more than when I'm showing now. It's just mockery. I'm mocking the shit out of people. It's funny because they're mocking themselves. So I help them. Some of them I don't mock. I help. There's a difference. Certain people I don't mock them. Certain people I mock them, especially if they're proud. I mock the shit out of them. Make them feel fucked up. Because that's what they want you to feel. Remember that. Always remember that. They want you to feel low. Then you make them feel low. And they will never forget you. You will always be in their mind. Even if it's 20 years later, they gonna remember me like, hey man, that nigga that told me some shit, man. Yeah, fuck that motherfucker, man. He crashed my whole world, man. I thought it was beautiful. So it says right here, Ezekiel 16:7. So I prophesied as I was commanded, and as I prophesied, there was a noise like a mighty, rushing, powerful wind. Acts chapter 2, right? There was a noise, and behold, a shaking, shaky-dicky, right? And the bones came together, like Transformers, the real, not them sodomite shit, fuck that. Like the real Transformers, Bruticus, and the rest. They came together, you know, like John chapter 17, where it shows you that Yahweh Shai said, I and my Father as one, and also the disciples are one. They came together. Wait, let me get that real quick. John 17 and 11. And now I am no more in the world, but these are in the world, and I come to thee. Holy Father, keep to thine own name those who thou hast given me, that they may be one as we are one. So they may be one. So the disciples are one. Does that then therefore mean that they came together like Transformers? Like Bruticus and formed one body? To a certain degree, it actually did happen like that, but not in the physical form, in the spirit. You know, and remember, when in Transformers they came together, like, you know, and formed Bruticus and stuff like that, they became a giant. And they would beat the shit out of you because they're bigger than you. They're bigger than you, you know? And that's the Jacob descendants, man. Because you're going to have the North and the South, North America and South America coming together, West Africa too, and all the other places that the Jacob descendants are, according to the 12 tribes sign of Great Millstone. So, according to that, it's still in effect, it's still the truth. But I understand if people say the thing is not accurate, but I'll be like, yeah, you're kind of right. You're kind of right that it's not accurate. Why? Well, you do have slave descendants that came from West Africa, that went into North America, stayed there, fought revolutions, ran away also. They ran to South America, by the way. You did have that happen. And then others, they trickled into other countries like Haiti or whatever. And you had Haitians also move into South America. So is it specifically now all 100% people in Haiti are Levi? No, because people from, like I said, from North America, the slaves that came there in boats, they became runaway slaves. They ran southward into south of North America, which is Texas and stuff like that. Then they went to Mexico, and then they went down to This is a process of 100 plus years. It's not just in one day. You can't do that. You're going to die. You need to rest. You can't do that. You can't just run from North America all the way to South America in a day. That's not going to happen. You're going to die. You're going to get tired and die. You need rest. You need time. People, you understand. Anyway, they went down to Middle America, and then of course, Texas, of course Mexico and stuff like that, and then they made children there. And now them children might look like Mexicanos, but they're not. See what I mean? So you could say it's not accurate, but you can. The point is, I hope you understand what I mean, right? Because you might clip this and be like, hey man, he don't agree with us. May your fucking children, boy, let me not curse you, boy. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go straight to the point. I'm gonna go where it hurts you. You know what I'm saying? So let me not do that. Anyway, let me go on further. So it says right here, Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 7. So I prophesied as I was commanded, and as I prophesied, there was a noise, a mighty rushing wind type noise, Acts 2. And behold, a shaking, and the bones came together, bone to his bone, family member to family member, basically. Verse 8. And when I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came up upon them, and the skin covered them above, but there was no breath in them. So they knew about the 12 tribes and all that type of stuff, but they didn't know the connection thereof, and therefore some of them just left it. Like the parable of the sower, what he was talking about. The thing came in their head, and then came Satan and took it away. It's kind of funny that he came up with that. Anyway, so it says right here, verse 9. Then said he unto me, prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus saith Yahweh the power, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain, that they may live. From the four corners of the earth you will hear the Jacob descendants singing in frequency the song of Yahweh Shai, the song of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. And if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. It doesn't matter. I'm not losing sleep. Oh man, I gotta help him. Really? A lot of times if I help a person, it will come back. You shouldn't help everybody. Not too much. You see? So, but it's all good, man, because it's in scriptures. It says that the people that you help, those are the people that are the most dangerous. Those are the people that either will come against you, start using scriptures against you. They're going to boast themselves against you to a certain degree. I've seen that shit. I ain't tripping on it. Sometimes I did take my sword in my head, I kill the fuck out you. But more scriptures you read, you be like, it already happened before. I'm not an exemption. So it's all cool cat, man. That's why I always say, like, I'm not sharing everything with everybody. I always got like a secret stash that I'm gonna use against you, because I know they're gonna use it against me. So Lord willing, I always have a secret stash. I'm not gonna share everything, because if you do, then you ain't got no card. You ain't got no card. You can't pull my card. I'm a magician. You gonna say I'm a witch? You say I'm a witch? Boy, you better watch your mouth, boy. Anyway, you can't pull my card. I'm a magician. I got another card, motherfucker. Can't pull it. And it says right here, what's going on. Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 19. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived and stood up upon their feet, an exceeding great army. That's the 144,000. 12,000 of each tribe of the Jacob descendants, right? 11. Then he said unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they say, our bones are dried, and our hope is lost. We are cut off from our parts. So, that's where we are right now. We're being linked up together to the power of Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shai. And then therefore, yeah, you got Esau all pissed off and all that type of stuff, but I want to say something else. Let me read on. Revelation 11:11. And these 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from Yahweh entered into them. That's basically what's happening right now. Once more again, loose from this. but it has the same connection effect with that, because John 6:63, it shows you that the spirit of life that cometh within them and quicken it itself, is making alive, is this word. So therefore, you got this word spreading out in the four corners of the earth, and this word is making you alive. It's comforting you. It's making you be able to deal with the things of this world and be like, oh, you're gonna get yours. You know, that type of mentality, because you'd be like, I don't have to worry myself too much about you. You know, you're gonna get you later on. Either I'm gonna get you, or the Most High is gonna get you. But you're gonna be got. Joshua chapter 10, verse 13. The Lord is gonna make me avenge myself. Joshua 10:13. So I ain't worried. I just put you on the list. I don't have a list, actually. I just say it like that. I do have a list, but I don't. It's not something that I focus on. I just say, oh, I'll put you on the list, and then you're on the list. Right. So it says right here, Revelation 11:11. It says, and after 3 days and a half, the spirit from Yahweh entered into them, and they stood up upon their feet, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. So when they see them, they're gonna be afraid. They're gonna be like, oh my goodness, it's the Jacob descendants. They're waking up. They're waking up once more again, all afraid. You know, in them cartoons back in the days, you had when somebody was afraid, then you had the bones of the knees sticking together, like, crack, 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 crack. I'm trying to find a GIF that actually has that picture. I can't find it. I remember that thing so vividly. I can't find it. For example, Scooby-Doo had it. When they were afraid, you heard that clack, 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 clack. Shaggy was afraid, right? And the little Scrappy, he was always looking for a fight. I was down with Scrappy, man. Scrappy was always looking for a fight. He wasn't scared, man. He was dope. He was a small little motherfucker. Always looking up for fights and stuff like that. They had to grab him like, no, come on. Put him up. Put him up, I tell you. And you had Chicken Hawk too. That little motherfucker was also a bold eagle. Not bald eagle, bold. He's a chicken hawk. He was always looking for trouble. I remember that cartoon. It was dope. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, Esau, and made no account of his labors. His labor was lazy. Oh yeah? Everything you got we did. No you didn't. What? You filthy ape. Once I get that power, I'm gonna show you. Oh no, wait, don't. It's not gonna happen anyway. Oh? Because they don't believe it anyway. But the elites, they believe. Oh shit. They be like, hey, send some people to disrupt them. And then they come with different doctrines. And then literally Israelites, people that look like you, they come against you, be like, hey, they fighting harder against me than they do against Esau. You got so many KKK type groups and stuff like that that are pushing only Edomites can be saved. They ain't trying to go to them because that's the real doctrine according to themselves in their spirit. But they scared. That's true. But according to them, that's the real doctrine. But then they don't go to them and say, well, black people are allowed to. You know, God love everybody. They ain't saying that. Why? They're afraid. That's one. Second, they be like, nah, he's gonna club me upside the head, and he's dangerous. He murders. But when I go to these black people, these Israelite, black Hebrew Israelites, when I go, I'm talking bitch ass niggas do that shit. When they come, when they have it already in their mind, I'm gonna go battle them and I'm gonna tell them what to do and what is what, and Esau can be saved and all that. Everybody can be saved, right? But Esau is their main focus. Then they go out there trying to save him, and then they come battling against you, trying to fight you sometimes too with physical. They ain't doing that shit with Esau, man. But that's funny. I ain't got no problem with that, cause I'll be like, you know what? You're gonna be afraid of me too once that time comes. But for now, keep on testing and trying your luck. You're gonna figure it out. Heavenly Father, when are you gonna figure it out? Verse 2. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. Spaceships? Yeah. What's it again? Hosea, I just jumped in my head. Hosea chapter 1, which is Hosea 1:7. But I will have mercy upon the house of Judah, and will save them by Yahweh their power, and will not save them by bow, nor by sword, nor by battle, by horses, nor by horsemen. So, how are we going to be saved? Book, reading, nerdy stuff. People want to test you when they see you read, right? You be like, he must be weak. He must be a sissy. He's a book reader, man. He ain't that tough. I'm not tough, by the way. So it says right here, where was I again? Wisdom of Solomon 5:2. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and be amazed at the strangeness of their salvation, of his salvation. So far beyond all they looked for. They was like, ain't no way the Most High dealing with these niggas. Ain't no way. It's impossible. I put my hand on fire for that. No, fuck it, lava. Melt your hand away, all your bones and all that. They don't care. They'll do it. And then they actually see that their hand melts away. You know how people say, put my hand on fire, that he didn't do that. They put their hand on fire, they burn, because he did do that. He did do that crime. You just, like, for example, you got these serial killers, right? Ted Bundy or something like that. You had so many people swear up and down, no, it's not him. They were his friends, colleagues. They was like, ain't no way he did it. I put my hand on fire for him. Burn. If they did that in the real, like, physical form, they would be handless. But the thing is, they tricked him, because he was very friendly toward people. But behind the scene, he was a raging a monstrous demon. He was doing bad shit, man. Boy, he was grabbing them, bashing their head again. The car, the car, and then you have the steering wheel, and then on the other side you have the, I don't know what you call that thing, like a deck. I don't know. Dashboard. I think it's dash, something like that. Deck, dashboard, something like that. Boy, he used to dash their down, knock their old motherfucking nose crooked. And do a nose job right there. Rhinoplasty surgery, bam. Beat the shit out of them. Boy, he beat the shit out of them, boy. Broke their arms. But the point is, he came over friendly, and a lot of people trusted him. Same thing as Esau. As a nation. Esau as a nation is basically Ted Bundy. You think he's weak when you're looking at him all skinny and shit. When that demon come on him, he's strong as fuck. Because the people that got away, they said he was strong. But the cops, when he shook his hand, he said, it's a weak, fragile hand. I was disgusted until this day that I shook the hand of a murderer. And then when I shook his hand, I realized, like, it's a murderer. These hands have been around countless of women, their neck. Yeah, he said it in the interview. He was surprised that this fragile, weak little guy could do all these things. That's because he doesn't understand a demon. Just like that guy, the mark of, I forgot which scripture it was. I think Mark 5. I don't think it's Mark 5, but it has to do with Mark 5, where that legion was on that man, and then they tied him with, I think it's Mark 5. They tied him with iron ropes. He broke it. Bam! Yeah, that's that spirit. Not that same spirit, but those are the type of spirits that come on those type of people. All of a sudden, they're strong. Right. That's what they said about, there's a few victims that actually escaped from Ted Bundy. She said he was strong. But if you look at him, he got like thin ass hands. You could push him and he falls. It looks like it. Until that spirit came over him. She said his eyes turned. His eyes turned. But and it's not just Ted Bundy, it's multiple of them. Always their account is, and his face turned. And then I think about the scriptures, and his countenance changed. Anyway, man. Verse 4. No, Wisdom of Solomon 5:3. And they repented and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision. Job chapter 30, verse 1 on down. They had us in derision, right? Mocking, playing around, stealing from you, You know, like a sheep shaving you and then mocking you for not being warm in the wintertime. Then they take your wool and make clothing, and also take your wool and sell it to other heathen nations so that they can make clothing and stuff like that. You know, merchandise. And then when it's time for the wintertime, now you're cold. Hey man, can I have my own jacket back? He's, nah man, you can grow your own, man. Yeah, but it take months, man. Fuck it. Just grow your own, man. You lazy beast. That's what Esau was saying. Right? With your coat on, with your wool on his back, keeping warm. He stuffed his pillow. He's sleeping all soft. He stuffed his mattress with your wool. Everything from him, everything he got is from you. And then he talking about, hey, you lazy, go get your own. Why don't you bring your own fucking woolly treasure? I can grow it. I got the talent, I got the salt, but I need time, and I need, water and stuff like that, and I need grass. Just like buzzing a nut, and then you want food. You're not hungry, but your body is missing nutrients, and then therefore you need it. The desire for it is within you. You can't stop it. You need something to eat. When you're young, you don't have that shit. When you're older, you bust a nut and be, hey, I'm hungry. No, you're not. You're missing something. That's what it is. It's not hunger. It transforms into hunger. Just like this. If I eat dough, bread, I am the same night, I am hungry with pain. I get hunger pains. But I know what it is. It's the bread. They put something in the bread to where you get hunger pain, and then therefore you want to continually eat. But if you don't eat bread often, you're not going to get it. But if you stop eating bread for like, 6? I don't eat bread from time to time. But if I eat it, I notice it right away. I'm going to get painfully hungry afterwards. So I eat it today, and then that same night, I get painfully hungry, and then you want to eat in the night. That's how you're going to get fat. But normally, I could just chill in the night. I have no hunger pain. I'm telling you, hunger, pain. It pains when you're hungry. That's because the ingredients in the food, they fuck with you, boy. They fuck with you hardcore. But if you eat fruit, you're not going to get hunger pain in the night. You're not going to get that hunger pain. And therefore, you don't eat in the night, therefore you ain't going to get fat. Rice does it too. It gives you hunger pain. Meaning when you eat and then 3 hours later, you're hungry again, but then it hurts. That's because that ingredient went to your mind, and then it forces you like, hey, you're empty. You're not. Because I can literally feel my bloated ass stomach. I haven't eaten rice for like, more than 10 years or something like that. Might be even longer. I never kept a record. I just don't eat rice. And a lot of hunger pain will leave you, but then you gotta watch out for the bread. That will cause hunger pain. And the dough, like pizza or something like that, it's in the dough. It's not bread, it's the dough. It's the ingredients in the dough. And I'm talking about it. I had a dream this morning. Wow. I dreamt there was insects in the bread. Now that wow, crazy. I just had a dream this morning. I forgot about that. Now that I talk about it, and bam, it came into me like, hey, I saw in my dream this morning, I saw crickets in the flour where they were kneading for dough to make bread. Damn. It just popped in my head. I forgot about it. That's crazy. Anyway, that's what they do. So when you start to get that hunger pain, you know, hey, I ate something. Something was in the food. Because if I eat just normal food and I watch it like, hey, fuck them ingredients, I don't get the hunger pain. I haven't got hunger pain in months, man, months. Then 2 days ago, I ate a bread. I made it myself, by the way. Not the bread. The rest of the food I made myself. But I put the bread in there because, that's I already know. But if you don't eat bread, like for months and stuff like that, and then you eat bread once, that same night, and maybe like it stays in your system for like 2 to 3 days, you're gonna get a painful hunger, a hunger that pains you to where you now want to go eat, right? Or you're not looking for it, because I'm not looking for food on the street, but I'm thinking about it like, hey, what the fuck, man? But I know, so because I know how to deal with it, Lord willing, of course. But if you don't know, you think you're hungry. You're not hungry. There's something in the food. And you have other things in the food also that they put that are hunger suppressant. So you have hunger suppressants in the food. The Heavenly Father created all these things. You have maca root, which is a root of a plant, like potatoes almost. No. I mean, like under the ground it grows, just like potatoes under the ground. That's the only comparisons I made. Anyway, you have the maca root, and if you eat it, you know what I'm saying, all of a sudden you start to get very aroused, very aroused. So it increases, sexual things. You have so many other plants and stuff like that. Other plants that they suppress your hunger. Other plants, they give you hunger. So Esau knows all these things, and then therefore he adds chemicals toward it. So now, one drop of that thing with his chemicals, that's like 1,000 drops or something like that. And boy, he gonna make it real powerful, and that is what makes it dangerous, because he comes with this. For example, you have an ingredient, right? Of itself, it is not deadly. But then if you put another ingredient with it, and you boom, right? But off of themselves, they ain't shit. It's just a normal thing. Okay, that's what Esau does with the food. He has all these chemicals, and then therefore, when you eat some here, and then you go to another place and you drink something there, boom. He does that. He's a scientist, boy. He does shit in the laboratory, calculating, just like this movie. I forgot which movie it was. You had this guy called Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange was calculating billions of mannerisms where they would win, and they didn't win, because all the calculations that he made, all of them they lost. But that's what I'm trying to give you as an example. In the Marvel movie, when they went to fight against Thanos, he had billions of calculations, outcomes, and none of them they won. But anyway, so all those billions of calculations is Esau. He's that creator. He knows that, hey, I'm not going to put all the ingredients together in one, because they're going to find out. So what he does is he has the manufacturisms, factories and stuff like that, where they actually make the food and then put it in packages and can give it to the supermarkets and stuff like that. He has all of them. A lot of them he has in control. So here in factory number 1, for example, he makes something. Factory number 2, he makes another thing. Factory number 3, he makes another thing. Factory 4, another thing. So now, when you eat random stuff, you don't know what actually made you sick. You don't know what actually really got you. You don't know what happened. He knows, because he makes them calculations like, well, if you don't go to factory 1 and get the food there, I got you in factory 5. And if you don't get factory 5, well, then I got you in factory 3. You don't. And if you dare mix factory 2 with factory 4, whoa, woo. But he got like 1 million factories, man, and he got like 1 million calculations to where if you eat this, it's gonna happen to you. If you eat that, that's gonna happen to you. If you eat this and drink that, then that's gonna happen to you. It's all set up to where it isn't untraceable, but if you want to figure it out, it could be untraceable. But all you need to do is read the ingredients, and then you need to read another package ingredients, and then you need to understand that, hey, wait a minute, if you put these two together, you're in trouble. For example, a great example for that is when you use certain certain medications, he's telling you not to use this or not to use that, or don't do. Alcohol should be self-explanatory, but sometimes they tell you not to use for example, drinks with gas. Don't use drinks with gas, because that will erupt. It will cause a chemical effect if you use this thing, or if you use that, whatever, blood thinner, whatever. You have certain herbs that if you use it with medications, like herbs, like things, literal herbs that are harmless. But if you use it with their chemicals, boom, and you know what I'm saying? Something's gonna happen to you. Okay, I'll keep on talking about that. Let me move on. I think I'm done. So, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 4. We fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor. How is he numbered among the children of the Most High, and his lot among the saints? That's our fate. That's our lot. You have faith, and you have faith. We pray to have both. Well, you don't have to pray for the other one. That's your faith anyway. It's going to happen anyway. But pray for faith. The faith. The one with the F. Pray for that one. And once you got that one, then then it's smooth walking from there on. Because then a lot of things will be easier to be understood. And I don't think I have anything to add on to the 12 tribe sign thing. I was doing on a summary type tip. That's the basis of what we actually believe that it is. What we know that it is. Sorry, I should say I believe. And off of that, through the growth, you start to realize. You know what I'm saying? For example, in the beginning, I was basically taught that, we're not Hamites and all that type of stuff. But later on, you start to understand, like, oh no, wait a minute. So okay. Oh, sorry, we're not Africans. Sorry, I thought all Africans are Hamites. That's basically what you get in the beginning. But later on that day, you started to, later on that day is from 840. Later on that day, but later on in this truth, you start to realize, like, oh, so West Africans, so it's not just actually a regional thing. It's not a land map thing. It's not a land mass thing. Like the guy from Ireland that just came here. It's not a land, because that's not on the 12 tribes. So that's not what I learned. So I know maybe they made a new 12 tribe signs. I haven't seen that thing for years, so I don't know. But it's not on the sign that I know of. But anyway, we know to the spirit that Irish, Sicilians, fuck them North Italians. But you have people that went from South Italy, they went to North Italy, so they still they're still in Italianos and stuff like that, Sicilians and stuff like that, living in the midst of North Italy. I know what I'm talking about, man. I know Italian dudes, man. They tell me, like, hey, you shouldn't be what? They tell you like, hey, you shouldn't be loving them. Because I was talking to this guy that is from he's from Sicily, if I'm correct. If I'm correct, he's from Sicilia or near Sicilia, that island. I was telling him, explaining about Hebrew Israelites and stuff like that. He was very happy and stuff like that. But then he told me, man, look, you shouldn't love these motherfuckers, man. They hate your guts. And I already know that. But still, when somebody says something to confirm it, it's all cool, cat. But I already knew it. But I always reference him like, no, he told me, like, don't fuck with these people, boy. They hate your guts. They fucking hate you. And I know that. That's why I don't like them neither. So. Even with the Sicilians, you need to watch your ass. Same thing with the so-called North American Negroes. South American Negroes. You need to watch your ass with them. The Latins. You need to watch your ass with them too. So it's all in the same boat, man. It's all in the same boat. I'm not going out there trying to love everybody just because I think you're an Israelite. Get the fuck out of here with that dumb shit, man. I don't even do that shit with Jacob descendants. As I see a Jacob descendant right here. Think I love him like that? You stupid? Nah, man. Once you turn into your whole Bashem Yahushua, it's cool cat, man. I ain't got nothing against you. One thing I don't do is just love somebody because they're Israelite. What the fuck? Actually, I do love my people. I'll give you that, but not as in, oh, they're gonna make it salvation type. No, man, I'll be like, okay, I like you because you're a Jacob descendant, but other than that, yeah, I'm not tripping. That's just dumb. Why? Because those are the same people that have turned on your ass. Why? Because you don't like Esau, or you don't accept Esau, or you don't want the heathen nations to make it. Well, it's not even want. It's in the scriptures. But if you teach them that, and they're gonna be a enemy. they become more your enemy than the Jacob descendant. That's why I say, just because you're a Jake don't mean I like you. There's a lot of Christians, what? A lot of Jacob descendants, especially in West African Christians. I ain't bothering myself with them too much. But then again, like I said, I do the same thing with the so-called Negro Christians. I ain't bothering myself too much with them. You know, if they ask me a question, I'll give it and see what's up. My hopes ain't up for you. Back in the days, I was really excited to tell you. I sure found out, like, fuck these motherfuckers. Let the Most High deal with them. You know? If the Most High sends you to me, I'll talk to you. Yeah. Got my hopes up high for you. I hope you make it, but I'm not. It's like this. It's like you know. Show you last example. It's like this, right? You get your girl, right? You know what I'm saying? You got these high ass hopes. You gonna let your dumb ass down. You got these high ass hopes. Yeah, man, I'm gonna live with her forever. I'm gonna make kids. Da, 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 da. And then she she does some shit, right? All that hope that you had, poof, and it's gone. Now what? All that shit you was talking, all them plans you was fucking making and all that there, huh? What happened to it? Flew out the fucking door, huh? Hey, all that pride that you had on the side too, flew away too. Yeah? It flew away too. You ain't proud no more. You with your head down now. Oh, you ain't boasting no more. You ain't got your chest in the air when you talk about your girl. You remember my girl, man? I know dudes that be talking about their girl, then they go fuck somebody else. They ain't talking about their girl no more. They cool cat. They got their head down. Hey, what's up with your girl, man? Oh, man. What happened? I seen some shit, man. I seen some shit, man. A girl come to my house with another guy that I know. Brought her, just toss her up. Girl don't know where I live, man. Open the door. What are you doing there? What are you doing there? Yeah, this is. I never told the dude, man. And that's just one. But the fucked up part is, I actually went to school with this dude. That's why that one is. I remember that one real good. It's fucked up, man. I never told him. I can't tell him. Can't tell him that shit. Well, he found out, but not from me. I tell you that. Man, I don't want to have nothing to do with that shit. Because it's fucked up, man. He really loved this girl. I don't even want to laugh. He loved this girl, man. He really loved this girl. And some people, I mock the shit out of them because it's funny. You know, because they're proud. When they love their girl, like, they're fucking proud. Hey, man, how you go? Hey, man, when you gonna talk about that, man? I haven't been with her for 2 years. Because I'm fucking with you because you was proud, right? You was proud. I throw it at you from time to time because you was proud. But the other person that, he was proud too, but he was more happy and glad that he had something in this life, like his anchor or something like that. And then, you know, she did that to him. I'm not saying anything, man. I'm not saying anything whatsoever. Man, I ain't playing with that shit. Because that ain't funny. Proud motherfucker, I fucking joke you, boy. I mock you because I'm, you know what I'm saying? I want to rub it in. I'm not your friend. No, really, if I think about it, I'm actually not your friend. Yeah, well, I shouldn't say that, you know? But yeah, actually, I'm not your friend. But other people, I'm cool with them, but they proud, and I check them, you know? But it's not how you call that thing? I want to hurt you. It's more as in you was proud, right? Don't do it again, because I'm gonna mock the shit out you. That's type. That. So it's different categories, man. One, I mock you because I hate your guts, and I hated your prideness. You know, my girl, everything about you, my girl. And they fuck you over, right? And then I laugh. I found that shit funny. And you think you a player. You think you got everything going on. The girl out here getting blown up by a dude on a bicycle. On a tricycle? On a tricycle. It wasn't a tricycle. It was a bicycle. But I've seen that happen with multiple dudes. Girl, this guy got a fancy ass car, bought her a car. She's sleeping with the dude on a bike. And this is the Netherlands, so a lot of Jays got bikes, man. Fucking your girl. I was never into that shit, but I just saw it. I think it's funny. He need to put to death. She too. But yeah, basically like that, you could say. You know, it's like that. You know, don't be too fucking proud, cause you ain't got shit. You think you're gonna build up a something with her, and then you find out like, and then you never go. Well, you should never be proud again. But yeah, some people continue with that pride, and then another girl screwed them over, and then you have certain dudes that turn into demons. Then my girl hurt everybody else on the world just because she hurt me. Yeah, we're gonna hurt everybody else. You got guys like that too. Bitches. Bitches. Those are bitches. Okay? They want to sprinkle their pain upon another so that they can share pain too. Why would you do that shit? She didn't do anything to you. If she's just like your ex, then you need to pick better. you need to pick better. So you're blowing your shit on another girl or another person at that. You're angry at your job, boss, whatever, and you come home, beat your wife and kids. You a motherfucker for that boy. Or you go take it out on somebody else that has nothing to do. Why don't you go take that shit out with your fucking boss? I'm scared. Why? He might fire me. Chicken shit. Hold that shit in, bitch. And then blow it out like a dragon. And then it's out. And then you keep on moving. Don't project it on another person. But anyway, so with that, I'm going to give all praises to the Most High Yahweh, Bashem Yahshua, Bashem Rawakudash, double honors unto the elder apostles that great millstone for the teachings of the scriptures, among other things. And shalom to the sincere Akim across the world. Shalom.